Kept you waiting, huh? Hello there, everybody. This is CwapTheNintendin here, and welcome to my new Let's Play. This is Kirby's Return to Dreamland for the Nintendo Wii, released obviously in 2011, judging by the copyright alone. I love Kirby's Return to Dreamland, probably like my new favorite Kirby game ever. Yep, Superstar Ultra was the former favorite. Well, here you go. This is the new favorite now. So, this is not just going to be Kirby's Return to Dreamland, as I'm probably making it out to be. This is going to be Kirby's Return to Dreamland EX. So, after defeating the main game, well, obviously you don't have to 100% it, but after defeating the main game, you unlock Extra Mode, which is basically the hard mode of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. It's basically the exact same game, the exact same story. However, it's going to be more difficult in a sense, well, you'll see why later on. But anyway, why don't we just get into it? Let's do this. Kirby's Return to Dreamland EX starts right now as soon as I press the A button. I'm doing this in post-commentary, by the way. Because my commentary got fucked up. Either way, if I could ever do that, that would be really excellent. Hello? Hello? Are you there? Sorry, I take a while. I explain things in the original, okay? This is turning out very professionally. Very professional. Okay, let's go. And there we go. There goes my battery. Yep, my battery was running low the entire time. So, I hope you'll forgive me for that. Anyway, we're going to our lore star cutter right here, the ship that crashed down into Dreamland, as we talk to our brand new friend right here. This is Magalore. Hey, Kirby. Hello, little alien dude. I like your design a lot. So, you haven't seen any huge spaceship parts lying around, have you? No, I haven't. I have not, sir. As you probably noticed, when my star cutter crashed here in Dreamland, A bunch of stuff broke off and went flying every which way. The oars, the wings, 5 very important parts have all gone missing. I also lost all 120 of my energy spheres. My poor ship is in shambles. Anyway, I'm going to stay here and try to repair the lore as best as I can. But I sure could use some help tracking down those missing parts. Try talking to him again. Hey, Kirb. Not having much luck tracking down those missing parts, eh? I didn't even start yet. I've been talking to you this entire time. And also, I found 0 energy spheres, so I guess that's also accounted to that as well. Anyway, we need the oars, the right wing, the left wing, the emblem, and the mast in order to complete this. I traveled to countless worlds in my time, but this is the first time my star cutter has failed me. I just hope I can fix it soon and return home. Well, don't worry, we will help you. We will help out our new friend to the best of our abilities as we possibly can. So, let's go back to the world map right here. And let's proceed onward. But not before I take in the amazingness. Yep, this world map music is probably like my favorite in the Kirby series. Because it reminds me so much of Milky Way Wishes, that little last minigame from Kirby Superstar. And the sound font sounds so familiar to that, it's so majestic, it's so beautiful. I seriously love the Kirby sound font so much. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Super Nintendo days when Kirby Superstar used to be my jam. So, yeah, you'll forgive me if I don't bounce in and out of Nostalgiaville. Anyway, this is World 1, Cookie Country. And get used to those names, because they're all named after food. All of them are the foods. Anyway, let's go into World 1 now. Or, at least, Level 1, not World 1, because we're already in World 1. We're already into World 1 in a sense that 4 players anytime! So basically what this tutorial is saying right here is that 4 players can jump in at any given time. You and 3 other friends of yours can play this game together. This is the first ever 4-player Kirby game. Whereas other Kirby games have been 2-player beforehand, or in Kirby Air Ride's case, 4-player because that was like a racing game of sorts. Kirby's Return to Dreamland is the first ever 4-player cooperative Kirby game in the series. In a sense that you all share lives, and, well, player 1 has to be Kirby, but 3 other people can either be another Kirby, or Meta Knight, DDD, or Waddle Dee, as they were in the cutscenes. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anywho, this is the basics of Kirby, even if this is the start of the whole modern Kirby games where everything is all elaborate and where the level design is more elaborate, the levels are longer, and you have collectibles in each and every level. The basics of Kirby are still the same, in that Kirby has always been this platformer game where you suck up things and spit them out. You can copy abilities as well, a thing that Kirby really likes to do a lot. And, you know, you can basically pause the game here in order to check out what each ability does. So right here, you have Sword ability, your first ever ability in this game. And basically right here, I'm showing off right here, is the fact that returning from Kirby Superstar are multiple moves for each ability. So each ability doesn't just feel like, you know, you breathe fire, you swing a sword, you know, basically turn into stone. No. Each ability has its own moveset. And that's one of the things I really, really liked about Kirby Superstar, is the fact that each ability has its own moveset, so all of them feel unique, rather than, you know, you just basically doing a one-time attack thing, like you would in any other Kirby game, like Nightmare in Dreamland, Kirby's Adventure, all that stuff. Right over here, we got the collectibles of this game. These are the energy spheres that Magolor was ranting on about. So, despite the fact that Magolor basically said, I lost all 120 of my energy spheres, I really need them back, they aren't really that important. They're just basically collectibles, you know? They're just collectibles in a sense that, you know, they unlock extra goodies, rather than them being important to the main game, like Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot did with its collectibles. Like, if you ever played Kirby Planet Robobot or Triple Deluxe, The collectibles in that game help you unlock extra stages and boss rooms. So, yeah. Right here is also an ability that's pretty much introduced in Return to Dreamland. It's the fact that you can do a super inhale by pressing 1 and shaking the Wii remote as well. And right here, you can check out what Kirby does. So, yeah, he can do all that sort of stuff like guard, dash, slide, super inhale. And you can also check out your ship parts and energy spheres collected. And of course, it's telling you, hey, this is a cooperative Kirby game. You can do that. So if you look at the bottom left of the screen right here, obviously not the battery, you have yourself the health bar. The health bar is not that big in... It's not that small in the main game. In extra mode, Kirby will have half health. So that being in the sense that it's harder. So you really have to watch out for, you know, you being hit, because you're going to be taking plenty of damage later on. And more often than not, you're going to be finding yourself, you know, basically on the verge of death. A lot. But right over here is a little bit of a star thingy, the huge glowy thingy. And when you touch that... Ever played Super Smash Bros. 4 before? Well, there you go. That's where the Ultra Sword originates. This is what's called a super ability. So, Return to Dreamland is the first ever Kirby game to implement, you know, unique powers to Kirby. You know, in Triple Deluxe, he had the Hypernova ability. In Planet Robobot, he had the Robobot armor. In this game, he has super abilities. In this case, what we have right now is called the Ultra Sword. So, by pressing 1, you can swing the sword like that, and you can just basically destroy everything in your path. And the Ultra Sword changes shape every single time, so that's good. It changes from that big sword Kirby uses to this big old axe to a fan to Galaxia Meta Knight's sword. You even have that big old butcher knife that you saw right there. I also got this one other time, but you also have a bit of a huge, like, fish thing that Kirby just summons out of here and just basically destroys everything with. And you see, that's why Kirby is awesome. He can, that little puffball of cuteness, he can basically destroy any given thing in his path. But what you want to use the super abilities for is you want to use them for going into these little extra areas right here, where you basically have an obstacle course of sorts. You have to outrun this little wall of crushing death, and you have to basically make it through all these obstacles without your copy abilities as well. Basically think like the secret areas in Super Mario Sunshine, in that, you know, you don't have your signature ability with you, and you basically just have to survive the onslaught of everything. That wall will basically catch up to you no matter what you do, so yeah, just be careful of that. And right here we have some food, which will recover your health, and copy abilities. So, keep in mind, whenever you see copy abilities, you'll know that a mini-boss is about to show up, like this guy right here. Sphere Doomer EX. And of course, I try to check to see if this thing has lore, like Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot does, but it doesn't. So basically, the lore of every Kirby boss is, well, you basically have to whack him enough times in order to defeat him. Here I defeat him rather easily with pretty much the most broken thing ever. The Inferno attack that fire often likes to do. Which is basically you breathe fire and then you press the opposite direction of what you're breathing fire at. So, yeah. All the Sphere Doomers are pretty much easy. But trust me, they get harder and harder as you go further and further into the game. You'll just see that right there. And each Sphere Doomer has, you know, 2 energy spheres. And normally they are the last ones that you have to get in the level. So keep in mind of that. Whenever you have a super ability, you obviously have 2 more energy spheres to go. And the Sphere Doomer obviously will have, you know, the last 2 energy spheres that you need in the level. Alright, and right here, my battery's about to run out. Yep. It's my fault for not having any sort of batteries, isn't it? It's all my fault. Hashtag blame the batteries. I'll be right back. Alright, I tried to sync up right here, but I fail. Yeah, by the way, this is post-commentary, yes. Because I literally just recorded this part, and, yeah, my microphone quality wasn't even that good. So, that's why I had to do this all in post-commentary, so hopefully this will be good. Either way, we have a brand new ability introduced here. This is called Leaf. So, right here, this is basically the whole gimmick of Leaf right here. You basically do all sorts of Razor Leaf stuffs, pretty much just like Pokemon. And take a look at that little last bit right there. Press A to garden. Huh? You're gone. Look at this. Yep. Basically brought back from Kirby Superstar is the ability to block. And Leaf's is probably the most broken. Leaf is the most broken ability guard in the game because, well, you wouldn't think enemies wouldn't step on leaves, would you? No, they wouldn't. Because leaves are adorable. You bounce around them in the fall time. They won't hurt you. They wouldn't hurt a fly. But yeah. Again, if you're familiar with Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, the ability Archer has, you know, probably a more broken guard than that, too. So either way, we get Cutter right here, another rather famous ability. And we use that Yang thing that Kirby likes to do in Smash Brothers. And again, yet another example of why you know, multiple moves for each ability is really good in these modern Kirby games, as it were. And I said modern Kirby games. Allow me to, like, elaborate on this. So, Kirby's Return to Dreamland is sort of like a return to form, as it were. By the way, you want to be on the lookout for those big blue star things right there. Because they're worth 30 little stars, which are basically the coins of this game. So, if you get 100, you get an extra life. Kirby's Return to Dreamland was released during the time which the whole retro revival thing was a thing. And, what was I gonna say? And, it was really the whole start of, you know, the whole modern Kirby games, as I will elaborate on right here. The levels will get more and more elaborate, they'll get longer, they'll have, you know, collectibles that you need to get. They're actually handled by different people, rather than Masahiro Sakurai himself, who originally handled, the original Dreamland, and I'm not sure what else, Kirby Air Ride. And, yeah. So if you ever played Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, you have your taste of what modern Kirby games are really like. Right here you have the Needle ability, another classic ability. And by pressing 1 and shaking the Wii remote, you can send out these little needles right here. And, here's one thing that I don't like about Needle. Right there you just saw that I dashed and then pressed 1. That got me into a little bit of a wheel thing. The ability wheel is not in this game. Instead, they combined I almost said Weedle. They combined wheel and needle into this one, and a lot of people don't like that. And honestly, I don't like it either. Like, I wish Weedle was in this game. I really do. So either way, now we are invincible. You just gotta run, run, run whenever you see that huge lollipop. And, you know, just basically run into every given enemy in the way. So, yeah. Right here, we have the Beam ability, another classic ability. You can use the Beam Whip, like this. You can dash and then use the Beam Cyclone. You can charge up your Beam attack, and you can just basically unleash. And we're gonna need it because this mini-boss. Gigant Edge EX. So what makes this different? Well, he starts off with a little bit of a charge attack right there. And he'll charge you with this sword like that. And basically, at times, he'll block your attacks. Meaning that he won't get damage whatsoever. So basically, the allure of every Kirby boss ever is, well, you just basically have to whack them about until they're defeated. And more often than not, you'll want their abilities. because more often than not, energy spheres will come after the mini-bosses. Like right there, I had to use sword in order to cut down that rope so that I had to get that energy sphere. So, you want to keep a watch out for those. Also, I didn't even mention the goal game right here. So, from Kirby's Adventure comes this little goal game in which, you know, Kirby jumps up as high as he can based on your timing of pressing the 2 button. And basically, depending on how high you make it, you can get yourself an extra life or 30 coins, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm very professional like that. But either way, we are done here. That's about it. So, every video of this series will be like, half a world per video, so that'll keep things going. There might be some breaks in the story to take care of some extra things, but at least I'll get to show off everything, am I right? I'm correct. Either way, that's it. Next time on Kirby's Return to Dreamland, we're going to be going through the second half of Cookie Country, getting more energy spheres, and hopefully getting a ship part. So, I will indeed see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.